Must be nice being a trophy wife. My sister-in-law announced over turkey. Some of us actually work for a living. I passed the gravy and smiled. 2 weeks later, her CEO introduced me. This is Alexandra Winters, our biggest client. Without her firm, we'd be bankrupt. Her face was priceless. The question wasn't whether to destroy Jessica's career. It was whether to do it quickly or let her marinate in her own assumptions until the perfect moment presented itself. More stuffing, I offered, keeping my voice neutral as 20 pairs of eyes around the Thanksgiving table suddenly found their plates fascinating. The Mitchell family had perfected the art of collective discomfort whenever Jessica decided to sharpen her claws. I'm good, Jessica waved dismissively, her fresh manicure catching the light. Unlike some people, I watch my figure. Can't afford to let myself go when I'm meeting with Fortune 500 executives daily. Real executives, not the kind you meet at country clubs. My husband Marcus tensed beside me, his jaw working the way it did when he was biting back words. 3 years of marriage, and he still hadn't learned that his sister's barbs bounced off me like rubber bullets off titanium. Jessica, their mother warned weakly. The same ineffectual tone she'd used since Jessica was terrorizing other kids in kindergarten.
What?
I'm just saying it must be nice. Wake up whenever. Get your hair done. Maybe hit the gym. Lunch with the ladies. She carved her turkey with surgical precision. Meanwhile, I'm up at 5 a.m. managing 40 million in accounts at Pinnacle Marketing. But sure, let's all pretend Alexandra's yoga schedule is equally demanding. I don't do yoga, I said mildly.
Pilates, then.
Whatever fills your days. She turned to Marcus. Seriously, how do you not get bored? Coming home to someone whose biggest decision is which charity luncheon to attend. Jess, that's enough, Marcus said quietly. I'm concerned about you. Men need intellectual stimulation. When Tom and I discuss our days, we're talking strategy, market analysis, real business. What do you two discuss? What happened at Soul Cycle? Their cousin Brad laughed nervously. Hey, how about those cowboys? Jessica wasn't done. I saw that new Tesla in your driveway. Must be nice when hubby buys you toys. I bought my BMW myself.
Cash.
From my bonus for landing the Hartfield Industries account. Hartfield Industries. I filed that information away, my expression unchanged. And that house, she continued. What is it? 6,000 square feet for 2 people? I guess when you don't contribute financially, you might as well spend what he earns. Jessica Michelle. Their mother's voice finally found some steel. I'm being honest.
Someone should be.
Look at her. Perfect hair, designer dress, not a care in the world. Trophy wife defined. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some women are built for boardrooms, others for decoration. Marcus stood abruptly. We're leaving. Oh, sit down. I'm complimenting her. She won the lottery. Married well. Never has to work a day in her life. Living the dream, right, Alexandra? I looked at her steadily. Right. See, she agrees. No shame in admitting what you are. I respect honesty. What I don't respect is pretending there's more to it. Like that little consulting business you supposedly run. What is it again? Party planning. Something like that, I said. Marcus was gathering our coats, his movements sharp with suppressed rage. I touched his hand gently, our signal that I was fine, that she hadn't drawn blood. We should do lunch sometime, Jessica called out as we headed for the door. I could give you some pointers about the real business world. You know, in case anything ever happens and you need to support yourself. That's generous of you, I said. What are sisters for? In the car, Marcus exploded. I'm done. Cut off. No more holidays. No more. She's your sister. She's a nightmare. The things she said were words. Just words. How are you so calm? She just spent an hour insulting everything about you. I adjusted the heating, watching the Dallas suburbs slide past in the darkness. Your sister thinks she knows who I am based on what she sees. Let her. It's not right. No, but cutting off your family won't change who she is, and I don't need defending. Marcus, I chose this perception when I married you. It's useful. He glanced at me, that familiar mix of admiration and bewilderment crossing his features. He knew what I did for a living broadly. The specifics, the numbers, the power, that was need to know, and he never needed to know. Still want to destroy her? He muttered. Destruction is easy. Education is more interesting. 2 weeks later, I sat in the 42nd floor conference room of Pinnacle Marketing, watching the Dallas skyline glitter in the morning sun. The executive team filed in all nervous energy and forced confidence. They knew why I was there, even if they didn't know who I was yet. Jessica entered with the others, scrolling through her phone, designer coffee in hand. She hadn't noticed me yet. I'd positioned myself with the sun behind me, a silhouette in a room full of anxious faces. All right, people. CEO Robert Thornton cleared his throat. As you know, we're in final negotiations for the Accelerate Partners contract. This is make or break for Pinnacle. Without this deal, we're looking at significant downsizing. Murmurs around the table. Jessica looked up from her phone, concern replacing her usual smugness. The good news, Robert continued, is that Accelerate's head of acquisitions has agreed to meet with us personally. She'll be making the final decision on whether to move forward with our proposal. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Alexandra Winters. I stood, stepping out of the sunlight's glare. The coffee cup in Jessica's hand trembled. A drop of latte hit the pristine conference table. Good morning, I said pleasantly. I've reviewed your proposal. I have some concerns. Jessica's mouth opened and closed like a landed fish. Around her, her colleagues leaned forward, eager, desperate, oblivious to her distress. Ms. Winters, one of the VPs started, we're confident Pinnacle can deliver. I held up a hand. I'm sure you are, but confidence and capability are different things. Your recent performance metrics suggest significant operational weaknesses. Those were isolated incidents, another executive protested. Were they? Let's see. I pulled up my tablet. The Morrison campaign, 3 weeks behind schedule, 20% over budget. The Lexington product launch, messaging inconsistency across platforms. The Hartfield Industries account, Jessica flinched. Lost after only 6 months due to what they called fundamental misalignment of professional values. That wasn't, Jessica started, then stopped as every eye in the room turned to her. Wasn't what, Ms. Mitchell? I asked mildly. There were circumstances. There always are. I returned to my tablet. Accelerate Partners represents a $300 million opportunity for Pinnacle. That's roughly 8 times your current largest account. The question is whether you're equipped to handle it. We can scale, Robert assured me quickly. Whatever you need, what I need is confidence, consistency, professional excellence at every level. I looked directly at Jessica, then at every team member. The meeting continued for 2 hours. I dissected every weakness, questioned every assumption, demanded answers Jessica couldn't provide. Her colleagues grew increasingly frustrated with her stammering responses, her obvious lack of preparation. The star account manager was crumbling in real time. Perhaps, I suggested as we neared the end, Ms. Mitchell could walk me through Pinnacle's value proposition since she's your top performer. Jessica stood on shaking legs. Pinnacle Marketing offers. We provide integrated solutions that are core competency. I interrupted. I asked for a value proposition, not word salad. I'm sorry, this is unexpected. The business world is always unexpected. That's why we prepare. I closed my tablet. I'll need to think about this. Robert, walk me out. As we left the conference room, I heard Jessica's colleagues turn on her. The phrases totally fumbled and lost us the deal, drifted through the closing door. Ms. Winters, Robert practically jogged to keep up with my pace. I apologize for Jessica's performance. She's usually our strongest. Is she? Well, she brings in significant revenue. Through her husband's connections, correct? The country club network. His silence was confirmation enough. I'll be in touch, I said at the elevator. Please, Ms. Winters. Pinnacle needs this deal. We need you. The elevator arrived. As the doors began to close, I offered, then perhaps you need better people. That evening, Marcus found me in my home office, 3 monitors displaying financial projections and contract drafts. Long day, he asked, setting down a glass of wine. Productive day. I accepted the wine gratefully. How was yours? Weird. Jessica called me crying. She thinks she's getting fired. Something about a disaster meeting with some major client. Kept asking if I knew an Alexandra Winters. He paused. You wouldn't know anything about that. It's a common name. Uh-huh. He leaned against the desk. She also apologized for Thanksgiving. Said she's been under stress and took it out on you. That's mature of her. Then she asked if you could put in a good word for her with your party planning connections. She actually said that. He shook his head. Even apologizing, she can't help herself. People rarely change overnight. Are you going to destroy her company? I sipped my wine, considering. Destroy is a strong word. Transform, perhaps. Pinnacle has potential, but their talent evaluation process is clearly flawed. They promote based on perceived revenue generation rather than actual competency. That's very diplomatic. I'm always diplomatic. You're terrifying is what you are. But he said it with affection, the same tone he'd used when he first realized the quiet woman he'd met at a gallery opening commanded more financial power than most state budgets. Your sister thinks I'm a trophy wife. My sister's an idiot. No, she's a product of limited perspective. She sees wealth and assumes dependence. Sees beauty and assumes emptiness. It's not entirely her fault. The world often reinforces those assumptions. You're defending her. I'm contextualizing her. There's a difference. My phone buzzed. An email from Robert Thornton, marked urgent. I scanned it quickly. Promises of restructuring, performance improvements, whatever it took to secure the deal. What will you do? Marcus asked. What I always do. Make the best business decision. Which is? I smiled. To be determined. The next morning, I called Robert directly. I'll give Pinnacle one chance, I said. But I have conditions. Anything. Full audit of your account management team, performance-based restructuring, and I want to see a detailed plan for culture change. The attitude that lost you Hartfield can't continue. Of course. Jessica Mitchell has already been placed on performance review. That's your internal decision. I'm interested in systematic change, not scapegoating. Yes, of course. Submit your restructuring plan by Friday. If it meets my standards, we'll move forward with the provisional contract. 6-month trial basis. 6 months. His voice cracked slightly. That's generous considering your track record. Prove you can deliver, and we'll discuss a long-term partnership. Thank you, Ms. Winters. We won't disappoint you. After I hung up, I pulled up Pinnacle's organizational chart. Jessica's name sat among the account managers, no longer starred as a top performer. Her LinkedIn had been updated overnight, seeking new opportunities in strategic marketing. My phone rang. Unknown Dallas number. Alexandra Winters. Hi, this is Jessica Mitchell, Marcus's sister. Her voice was smaller than I'd ever heard it. I got your number from Marcus. I hope that's okay. What can I do for you, Jessica? I wanted to apologize for Thanksgiving and to ask for advice. You clearly know things about business that I don't. I've been arrogant and stupid and… Stop. What? Self-flagellation isn't productive. What do you want? A pause.
My job.
My career. I thought I was good at this, but today showed me I've been coasting on connections and attitude. I need to actually learn. And you're calling me because you're clearly not who I thought you were, and I'm hoping maybe you could recommend some resources or courses. I'll do whatever it takes. I leaned back in my chair, considering. I consult for executive development occasionally. My rate is $15,000 for a 6-week program. 15. I can't afford that. Then perhaps a payment plan. Or you could ask your husband.
No.
I'll figure it out. Sell the BMW if I have to. I need this. Interesting. Send me a resume and a 1-page summary of what you think went wrong in today's meeting. Be specific and honest. If your self-assessment shows promise, we'll discuss next steps. Really? You'd help me? After everything I said, I'm not helping you. I'm potentially taking you on as a client. This is business, not charity, right?
Yes.
Business. She took a shaky breath. Thank you. And I'm sorry. For what it's worth, I'm really, truly sorry. Apologies are worth exactly what you do, with the lesson learned. Send me the materials by tomorrow. I hung up before she could respond. That evening, over dinner, I told Marcus about his sister's call. You're going to help her? He seemed stunned. I'm going to charge her fair market rate for professional development. If she's serious about learning, she'll pay it. If not, she'll go back to blaming others for her limitations. But why help at all? Because potential is a terrible thing to waste. Your sister has intelligence and drive. She's just been pointing them in the wrong directions. With proper guidance, she could actually become the executive she pretends to be. Or she could stay the same nightmare she's always been. Possible, but unlikely. Humiliation is a powerful teacher. You planned this whole thing, didn't you? From Thanksgiving dinner. I plan everything, Marcus. You know that. But you didn't have to reveal yourself. Could have just let her think some random executive torpedoed her meeting. I smiled. Where's the education in that? She needed to understand that the person she dismissed as decoration holds the keys to her professional survival. The lesson only works if she knows who taught it. Terrifying, he repeated. Absolutely terrifying. You say the sweetest things. A year later, we hosted Thanksgiving at our house. The same massive dining room Jessica had sneered at now held the extended Mitchell family, plus a few additions. Alexandra, Jessica approached me in the kitchen, holding a bottle of wine. I brought this for you. The sommelier said it pairs well with turkey. She looked different. Same designer clothes, but worn with less armor. Same perfectly styled hair, but without the sharp edges. Thank you. I accepted the bottle, noting the excellent vintage. How's the new position? Challenging. Good challenging. Leading the digital transformation team is exactly what I needed. She paused. I never thanked you properly for the referral to Davidson Industries. You earned it. Your assessment report showed genuine insight. After our sessions, I actually understood what I was assessing. She smiled ruefully. $15,000 well spent. Even if I did have to sell the BMW. I noticed the Accord in the driveway. Gets better mileage. And I don't need a car to prove my worth anymore. She glanced around the kitchen. Marble countertops, professional-grade appliances, subtle elegance. I get it now. The real power isn't in showing off. It's in knowing you could buy the whole restaurant but choosing to cook at home. Something like that. Can I ask you something? That day at Pinnacle, were you always going to give us the contract?
No.
If the restructuring plan had been inadequate, I'd have walked away. Accelerate Partners doesn't carry dead weight, regardless of personal connections. But you gave us a chance. I gave you accountability. What you did with it was your choice. Marcus is lucky, she said quietly. I thought he'd married a trophy. Turns out he married a queen. I prefer CEO. She laughed, genuine this time. That too. Though I notice you still haven't corrected anyone who assumes you're a trophy wife. Why would I? It's advantageous when people underestimate you. They show you exactly who they are. Like I did. Like you did. But also like you do now. From the dining room, Marcus called out about carving the turkey. Shall we? I asked. As we walked back together, Jessica said, Next year, I'm hosting. My treat. Want to show off the new condo. Not the house. Sold it. Too much space for one person, and the mortgage was killing me. Amazing what you can afford when you stop trying to impress everyone. She paused at the dining room entrance. Think the family will ever let me live down last year? Eventually. Redemption stories are very American. What about you? Will you let me live it down? I smiled. Jessica, I've already forgotten it. I'm too busy planning next year's acquisitions to dwell on last year's lessons. Of course. But she smiled back, understanding in her eyes. Happy Thanksgiving, Alexandra. Happy Thanksgiving. As dinner progressed, I watched the family dynamics play out. Jessica, contributing to conversations without dominating them. Marcus, relaxed now that his sister and wife had found their equilibrium. Their parents, bewildered but pleased by the transformation. So, Alexandra, Uncle Pete called out. Jessica says you're some kind of business consultant. Something like that, I replied, catching Jessica's eye. Must be nice, he continued, having such a flexible schedule. Jessica started to speak, then stopped. Smiled, passed the gravy. Sometimes the best lessons are the ones you learn to let others learn for themselves. After all, I had acquisitions to plan. 3 companies on my radar, 2 hostile takeovers in progress, and a particularly interesting opportunity in biotech. Let them think what they wanted about the trophy wife at the head of the table. The real power was in knowing I could buy their companies before dessert and still have time to serve the perfect pumpkin pie. Homemade, of course.